What do you make of the tight end situation so far? What have you seen from them?
They're all doing a great job. You know, we got 3 guys coming back with quite a bit of experience with Farrow, Evan, and Johnny Muntz. I think all of them have made improvements in the offseason. That's one of many spots on offense where we have a lot of experience coming back and we expect a lot of things out.
What kind of maturation have you seen out of Braylon, not just on the field but off it? He was talking about you encouraging him to be a little more vocal now with Josh gone out of that group.
Yeah, every year, you know, you need guys to step up at certain positions and you need leaders to step up. Keenan Lowe is pretty much the clear-cut leader in the receiver room, but Braylon's got to be second. He was able to kind of sit back and let Josh and Keenan lead last year. Now Braylon's going to be one of our go-to guys on offense, so we need him to step up and be the type of player and type of person that we expect him to be.
How do you help a guy be more vocal? He said he was a little uncomfortable with it.
We have quite a few guys that are uncomfortable being vocal and being loud. But at the end of the day, those guys need to understand that everybody else is going to respect them more when they hold them accountable. And that's what a leader's supposed to do is get everybody out of their comfort zone and push them to a place that they're not comfortable going. And so all those guys need to be a little more vocal.
Scott, how much have you tweaked spring ball? Last year was your first one. How much have you tweaked this kind of schedule, what you guys do in spring ball?
There's been some changes. They're not major changes. Obviously, we're not going to change the structure of what we do and the basis of what we do. We believe in what we do, how we practice. We're just changing little things here and there to make sure that we're getting the most out of practice and we're emphasizing the things that we want to emphasize.
Does it feel a lot different for you with a full year under your belt?
Yeah, the game's moving a little slower than it did last year at this time.
Are you glad the games aren't going to move slower because of legislation? You seem like you were somewhat of outspoken about that. I mean,
well, I don't want to get into the political thing with anything like that, but to me it was a couple guys who didn't want to play against a fast tempo offense trying to turn it into an injury issue, and there's absolutely no basis or support for that being an injury issue with teams that play fast. In fact, I told people I played in a power offense at Nebraska where we didn't go fast, and I used to watch 15, 20 guys get carted off the field on the other side because we were so physical and hit people so much. I used to see more people go off the field against Nebraska in one game than I've seen a whole season against Oregon. So I think that's just some people trying to change the rules for their benefit.
Kind of along that same line, Scott, how has pace been so far in these first 3 practices? Pace kind of is gradually getting better. Are you working towards getting faster?
I think pace is even better. Again, every time we get to a certain point, we talk about that being our baseline and our standard, and now we want to exceed the standard. And I think, honestly, what feels a little slow to us now was probably fast a couple of years ago.
Mark had mentioned that you guys go out, you guys try to obviously get better every year, and you guys do some stuff on campus, off campus, meet with different folks. How much does that, obviously you even want to kind of talk about who you guys consult with, but what does that experience do just for you as an OC going into your second year?
We always want to evolve. I think it was a little tough for us to evolve last year because we had some guys in new positions, myself included. And so most of what we did last year was essentially the same as what we did the year before. But I think if you're not evolving, then people are catching up with you. So I imagine there'll be more wrinkles this year than were added last year.
How's Marcus been just in these first three practices?
Marcus looks great. He's what we expect him to be. He's being a leader. You know, it's his team now completely. Him and Hronis and Ifo, especially those guys that decided to stay. This is their team, and I think they've embraced that. But Marcus looks bigger and stronger this year than he did a year ago. Throwing the ball great and running the team really well.
Tyner talked about how he added some weight and being a physical runner, but he might be a little too heavy. Is that something that you want to see maybe drop a little bit to feel more comfortable?
Well, I'm really impressed with Thomas so far this spring. If he keeps practicing like he is right now, we're going to have a really good play on our hands. I think he's kind of decided to take it to the next level, and it's really showing up. If he's overweight right now, he won't be after a few practices. So we don't really have to emphasize that. It'll happen on its own.
What was he doing that allowed him to take it to the next level? Like, what things was he not doing in practice previously?
I think the guys that can come in and play as freshmen, a lot of times it doesn't have to do with their physical ability. It has to do with how quickly they pick everything up, how emotionally and mentally mature they are. And I think Thomas is just a year older, and he sees that the way that we ask people to do things is the best way for the team and the best way for individuals.
Byron kind of in that same mold, improving again, getting older, another year under his belt?
Thought Byron had a really good practice today. Again, I was really impressed with Byron last spring. I think he kind of took that step last spring, and it showed up on the field in the fall. But yeah, he's obviously better this year yet than he was last year, so we feel good about our running backs.